Hello, and welcome back to Fem Life. If you'd like to support me, please use my affiliate links mentioned below. Every purchase you make will bring me closer to my gender transition. Until a few months ago, life was pretty boring for me. I was a 12-year-old guy with a 9-year-old little brother. My brother was Mom's favorite from the day he was born, and since Dad died a couple of years ago, he's wormed his way even further into Mom's heart. Don't get me wrong, Max is a nice kid most of the time, but occasionally he gets to be a real pain in the butt. He wanted to spend time with me, but I didn't want to have a little kid tagging along everywhere I went. I did my best to sneak out without Max seeing me, but he always managed to find where I went, and I ended up babysitting him instead of doing what I wanted to do. One day he really made me mad, and I was determined to make him sorry. A couple of days later, it was pouring down rain, so we were stuck in the house. Mom had to go out for a few hours and left me in charge. Max and I were sitting around watching a movie about a boy who had to pretend to be a girl to keep from getting beaten up. Max thought the idea of a boy having to wear a dress was funny, and I suddenly realized how I was going to get my revenge. I went up to Mom's room and got together a few things I'd need to really get even with my stupid little brother. I called Max to come up to our room, saying that I needed his help with something. Max actually thought that there was a chance to do something with me and couldn't get upstairs fast enough. As soon as he came into our room, I slammed the door shut and locked it behind him. Just seeing the confused look on his face made me feel good, but I was going to teach him a lesson he'd never forget. "What's up?" he asked timidly. "I just thought that since you liked that movie so much, you'd really enjoy what I have in mind." "I don't trust you," Max said as he moved towards the door. "Let me out of here or else." "You're not going anywhere until I'm done with you," I said, laughing. "And by then, you'll probably beg me not to let you go anywhere." I told Max to get undressed and do it quickly or I'd beat him up. He stood there for a couple of seconds, but as soon as I started towards him, he began undressing. I let him stop at his underwear and then sprang my surprise on him. He tried to get away from me, but I caught him and after a little work managed to get him dressed in a couple of things I borrowed from Mom. He looked so silly standing there in one of Mom's dresses and her high heels that I bust out laughing. "Please, Mike," Max pleaded with tears in his eye. "Don't make me wear Mom's stuff. I don't want to look like some sissy." "Too bad," I laughed. "You seemed to like it in that movie. I thought you'd get a kick out of this." Max started crying and carrying on, begging me to get him out of the dress, but I wasn't finished with him. I picked up the instant camera I got for my birthday and took some pictures of him all dolled up. Next I unlocked the door and grabbed his hand. "Come on, little sister, you always want to tag along with me, so let's take a walk together." My brother's eyes suddenly dried up and opened to an enormous size. "No, Mike, please no, I'll be good. I promise." "Calm down, sis, I just want everyone to see what a cute little sister I have." I dragged Max out of the room and down the hall towards the steps where I was stopped cold by Mom. "What's going on here?" she asked. "What are you up to this time, Mike, and why is Max wearing my dress and shoes?" We were just having some fun, Mom. Anyhow, it was Max's idea, wasn't it?" I said, tightening my grip on his arm. Max broke loose and ran to my mother sobbing. "He made me wear these clothes, Mom. He took pictures of me and was going to make me go outside dressed up like a sissy." Mom kissed Max on the cheek and told him to change clothes. Turning to me, she insisted that I give her the pictures and my camera, saying that she'd deal with me later. I handed over the pictures and camera and ran down the steps after calling Max a sissy and a snitch. I felt pretty good. I was sure my brother wouldn't bother me anymore. Mom had threatened to punish me before, but never really did, so I wasn't in the least bit worried. Mom seemed to be hassling me more than ever though, claiming that I was still bothering Max and that I'd better stop it. I had no idea what she was talking about. For once I really wasn't bothering Max, yet I was still being yelled at. What made it really strange was the day Mom accused me of trying to dress Max in her clothes again. I denied it, but she said that she'd found some of her stuff missing and that it had turned up in his drawers. She figured I put them there to embarrass him. One day I came home to get my baseball glove and noticed some of Mom's underwear in the hallway near my room. When I opened the bedroom door, I saw my little brother standing there in one of Mom's nightgowns trying to put lipstick on. Before I could say anything, I heard Mom's voice behind me. "What did I tell you about bothering him?" she asked. "But Mom, I wasn't even home. I just came back to get my glove and saw the little sissy here." "Is that right, honey?" she asked Max. Max stared down at the floor crying. "I'm sorry, Mom. It just seemed like fun, and the clothes feel really nice," Max said. Mom took a tissue and gently wiped his face. "It's okay, sweetheart," she said softly. "I'm not upset with you. Just wait until I tell everyone about my little sister." I exclaimed, excited at the thought. "This is going to be a blast." Mom straightened up and shot me a look that wiped the smile off my face. "Get what you came for and leave. You'd better not mention this to anyone. Do you understand?" I was too scared to laugh or even smile. "Yes, ma'am. I won't say a word, I promise." I quickly grabbed my glove and ran out of the house, thoroughly confused and frightened. I kept my promise and never spoke about Max. I was mostly scared of what Mom might do and didn't want anyone to think my family was odd. Mom never brought it up again, and I almost forgot about it until one Saturday afternoon when I saw Max dressed in a blue and white polka dot dress, white tights, and girl's shoes. His hair was styled to look like a little girl's. He actually looked pretty convincing. I had to look closely to realize it was my brother. "Mom's going to flip when she sees you like that." I laughed. "Where did you get those clothes, and who did your hair?" Just then, Mom emerged from her room in an identical dress and white stockings. "No one's going to flip about anything," she said calmly. "I bought the clothes and did his hair. Doesn't he look cute?" "Oh, absolutely adorable," I teased. "But where's your purse, little girl? Going shopping with Mom?" I asked, noticing Max's small white purse. "Yes," Max replied with a smile. "Mom and I are going shopping." "You've got to be kidding," I said, glancing at Mom. "You can't take him out dressed like that. What if someone sees him?" "We're going somewhere no one knows us," Mom said, "and if anyone sees him, so what? I think he looks adorable." Max grabbed his purse from the closet and followed Mom out to the garage. I watched in disbelief as he hopped into the car next to Mom and waved goodbye as they drove off. I couldn't believe Mom and my little brother were out shopping in matching mother-daughter dresses. Later, while watching a movie, I heard the garage door open and saw Mom's car pull up. A moment later, Mom and Max came in carrying several shopping bags. Max was practically bursting with excitement, eager to show me their new purchases. "Isn't this pretty?" he asked, holding up a blue party dress with long puffy sleeves. "I can't wait to wear it, it's so nice. I'm sure you'll be the prettiest boy at the party in that." I laughed. "Just make sure I'm not around when you wear it, okay?" Ignoring my sarcasm, Max treated the bags like treasures and went off to our room. I heard him and Mom laughing and giggling upstairs about something I didn't want to know. Later, Max came downstairs in a blue sundress covered with little pink flowers. He seemed perfectly comfortable, but it was driving me crazy. "Don't you feel weird wearing a dress?" I finally asked. "No, it's really comfortable and much cooler than pants," Max replied. "But you're not a girl," I said, losing my patience. "You're a 9-year-old boy wearing a dress." Max looked at me like I was the strange one. "Well, Mom says I can wear one anytime I want. She thinks I look cute. She also let you go out in public in a dress. I bet people thought you were both weird." Mom, who had overheard us, came into the room. Actually, we received a lot of compliments. Everyone thought it was adorable to see us in matching dresses. I shook my head, baffled. You're both out of your minds, I muttered as I went to take a shower and get ready for bed. After my shower, I went to get my pajamas and discovered what all the laughter had been about. My underwear and pajamas were gone, replaced by girls' underwear, nightgowns, and pajamas. Max! I yelled. Get up here and take all your clothes out of my drawers. I turned around to see Mom and Max standing there, grinning. They're not mine, Max said with a smile. They're yours now. I looked at Mom standing there grinning and knew I was in trouble. Don't stand there staring, Mom said. Get dressed and come downstairs, I want to talk to you. No! I shouted. I'm not going to be a sissy like he is. I won't wear these things. Mom stared at me for a few seconds. Do as you're told and do it now, she said in a firm voice. I want to see both of you downstairs in 5 minutes. I knew by the tone of voice Mom used that she meant business. Any further delay or arguing could result in being seriously punished. I was going to have to do as I was told, and that was that. I stood in front of my open drawer, not knowing what to do. Finally, Max pulled out a pair of sheer pink PJs and handed them to me. Put these on and I'll wear mine, he suggested. We'll match. I stared at the PJs for a moment. They had short puffy sleeves with a little bow at the end, and the legs had elastic at the bottoms to make them puff out too. They had some sort of lining in them to keep them from being see-through at the chest and where a girl's underwear would be, but the rest was totally sheer. Max handed me a pair of pink underwear to go with them, then pulled a matching pair from his drawer. I felt really stupid, but time was running out, so I pulled on the panties, then put on the PJs. Looking in the mirror, I looked as dumb as I felt. I looked like a boy wearing his sister's clothes, a sissy just like my brother. Max took off his dress and I saw he had on a short white slip under it. Don't you feel stupid dressed like that? I asked. Nope, Max said as he pulled off the slip and stepped into the bottoms of his PJs. I like it, besides Mom likes it when I'm dressed like this too. Max pulled on the top to his PJs and stood next to me in front of the mirror. Isn't it neat? We look like sisters. Wonderful, my brother and I are dressed up like a couple of sissies, and he thinks it's great. We're not sisters, remember? We're boys, we're supposed to be brothers. Oh, come on, Mike, he pleaded. Just pretend that we're sisters, please? I wanted to wring his scrawny little neck for getting me into this, but Mom was calling, and killing him would just have to wait. Let's go, girls, Mom called. I want to see how my little girls look in their new PJs. My stomach was churning like crazy as I walked down to see Mom. I'm no sissy, and I hated having to dress like one. I was surprised when Mom didn't laugh as I walked into the room. She looked at me for a few seconds, then smiling happily she walked over and kissed me on my head. Without saying a word, she picked up a brush and the hairdryer and began to fix my hair. It only took a few minutes, but to me the time seemed to have stopped. Mom brushed my hair, used the dryer on it, then repeated the brushing and drying for what seemed like forever. Finally, she put the brush and dryer down and handed me a mirror to look in. The good news was that I no longer looked like a sissy. The bad news was that I now looked like a cute girl with short hair. As I stared at my reflection, Mom pulled out the camera I'd used on Max and took several pictures of me. You're not going to tell anyone about your new little sister, are you? She asked with a mischievous grin. I doubt you want your friends to see how pretty you look right now. Tears streamed down my face. Why was Mom doing this to me? Did she not love me anymore? Please let me change, Mom, I pleaded. I promise I won't tell anyone. Calm down, sweetheart, Mom said, hugging me. No one will ever find out about this. It'll be our little secret. But Mom, I feel ridiculous. I cried, holding out my flared pajama bottoms. I can't wear these. Mom held me tighter and gently stroked my cheek. But you look so lovely, and it would make me so happy to pretend I have 2 daughters. Please, keep them on for me? I was utterly confused. I wanted to make Mom happy, I really did, but dressing like a girl? If anyone saw me now, I'd never live it down. Then again, Mom promised not to tell, and my little brother or sister wouldn't say anything either. Why don't you girls see if there are any good movies on? Mom said as she headed for the kitchen. I'll make some popcorn, okay? I decided to go along with it for now. After all, how bad could it be? Mom was in a good mood, and no one would see me. Could you add a couple of sodas for your daughters, Mom? I asked. Mom's face brightened. I'm sure I can find a few for such lovely girls. Max and I went into the room and turned on a movie. A few minutes later, Mom came in with a large bowl of popcorn and several cans of soda. She had changed into a nightgown herself while waiting for the popcorn. I looked up at her and smiled. For the rest of the evening, we were 3 girls laughing and having a great time. When the movie ended, Mom told us to brush our teeth and get ready for bed. I had forgotten all about what I was wearing until I was about to shut the bathroom door. The door had a full-length mirror, and as it closed, I saw my reflection. I suddenly remembered that I had willingly spent the last few hours in girls' pajamas and underwear and had enjoyed it. There was nothing I could do about it now, and it had been a fun evening, so I continued with what I had originally gone into the bathroom to do. I was about to pull down the front of my bottoms and panties when an odd thought popped into my mind. What the heck, I thought as I turned my back to the toilet. I pulled my bottoms and panties down to my knees, then sat down like a girl. It was different looking down at my legs and seeing the sheer PJs and nylon panties, but it sure was a fun night. The next morning I was confused for a second or two over my clothes, but nature called, so once again I found myself sitting on the bowl looking at a pair of pink girls' underpants and PJs. I started rubbing my legs through the fabric, noticing how nice it felt. I heard Mom moving around, so without changing, I went downstairs looking for breakfast. Max was already there, still in his PJs of course, and Mom was happy to see that I was still in mine. I hope you girls got a good night's sleep, Mom said cheerily. We girls have got a lot to do today. First we're going to church, then a quick lunch, then a fun afternoon of shopping. I was afraid to ask, but I wanted to make sure. Mom, I asked. You're not thinking of taking me out dressed like this, are you? You promised no one would find out. Don't be ridiculous, Mom said to my relief. I made a promise to you, and I'll keep it. Just as I started to relax, Mom took my breath away. You'll be just another cute girl shopping with her mom and sister. But Mom, you promised. I promised no one would ever find out, and they won't. Now finish eating so I can help you girls get ready. Mom and Max finished eating and set off to get ready, leaving me to sit and wonder what was about to happen to me. I had only a few bites left, so I didn't have to wonder for long. Max had already had a shower and Mom was helping him dress when I got back to our room. He was standing there in a pair of white tights, his ruffled and flowered panties clearly visible under the tights. Mom pulled a full-length white slip over his head, then adjusted straps on his shoulders to make the slip a little shorter. Once she got the slip just right, she helped Max into a cream-colored dress with big pink roses on it. The dress had what looked like a lacy white bib with a small pink rose on it and a wide lace trim all around the bottom. The look on my brother's face said it all. He was thrilled to be all prettied up. When Mom finished smoothing out the dress, she had him turn around so she could button the back. She fastened the last button and told him to look at himself in the mirror. Thank you, Mom, he gushed in a high-pitched giggle. It's so pretty. Mom came over to fix his hair, but had to wait a few minutes until he finished twirling around in front of the mirror. Sure enough, after a few minutes' work, I had a cute little sister again. There was no point in asking him if he felt silly. It was obvious that he was thrilled with the way he looked. I didn't want to cause a fight, so I figured I'd make Mom happy too. You look really nice, Max, I said, trying to be nice. That's a really cute dress. Do you really like it? Mom asked, somewhat surprised. The dress was nice and Max did look cute, so what the heck? Sure, and he really makes a cute girl when he's all dressed up like that. I'm really glad you think it's a nice dress, Mom said as she gave me a kiss on the cheek. It was part of a sister's set, you get the big sister one of course. Mom pointed to my bed and I swallowed hard. Laid out on my bed was an identical dress with a slip, a bra, and white stockings. Mom handed me a pair of pale yellow panties and told me to take a quick shower. When I was done, she'd help me with the rest of my underwear and dress. I took the panties from Mom and went into the shower wondering if there was any way out. I thought of climbing out of the bathroom window and running away, but I was still wearing my new PJs and the bathroom was on the second floor. There was only one way out and that meant Mom and a dress. I stalled around as much as I could, but Mom threatened to come in and help me. I quickly finished my shower and dried myself off. I had no other choice, so I picked up the panties and pulled them on. I noticed that they seemed so much thinner than my old underwear. Even the PJs I had worn last night had felt so different, they were so light and really comfortable to sleep in. I wondered if Max could be right about how the other clothes felt. What would it feel like to wear stockings or a dress? I was going to find out soon enough. As soon as I got out of the bathroom, Mom had me hold my arms out in front of so she could put my bra on me. She slid the straps over my arms, then fastened it in the back. Once she finished, she adjusted the straps to make it fit better against my chest. This is padded a bit to give girls your age a little help in the chest area. She explained. It'll give you just the right amount of chest for your age. Can I wear one too? Max asked anxiously. You're still a little young yet, Mom explained. It'll be a few years before you'll be needing one. I'll give him mine, I offered. It's no problem at all. Mom said patiently, people might find it strange if you're not wearing a bra. Do you really want them staring at you? She had a point, I didn't want anyone scrutinizing me too closely. She'd promised no one would find out, so I had to trust her. You're right, I sighed. Just go ahead and do what you need to do. Mom smiled and gave me a kiss on the head, assuring me it wouldn't be so bad. It was easy for her to say, she wasn't the one having to wear these things. Next, Mom had me sit on the edge of my bed as she showed me how to put on my pantyhose. It was a little tough to get them up, but after a few minutes' struggle, I was able to pull them completely up to my waist. The slip came next. It was pale yellow, just like my panties and bra, and trimmed with lace. Mom helped me get it over my head, then just as she had done for Max, she adjusted the straps until the slip was just a few inches above my knees. I stood there staring at my legs all covered in white nylon sticking out past the lace on my slip. Yesterday, I had called my brother a sissy, and today, I'm his big sister. Mom slid the dress over my head, straightened it out, then buttoned the back. I felt sort of trapped, there was no way I could reach around and unbutton the dress to take it off. Until Mom was ready to take it off of me, I was stuck. Mom pulled out a pair of low-heeled white shoes for me to wear, then had me walk back and forth to get the hang of them. The heel on the shoes wasn't very high, but it still felt a little odd compared to my regular shoes. I made several trips across the room before Mom had me sit down at the dresser to do my hair. Once again, Mom tipped to my hair with a brush and dryer, first brushing in one direction, then the other. She explained that this would give my hair a bit more lift and make it look nicer. After finishing with the brush and dryer, she picked up a curling iron and spent several minutes carefully winding and unwinding my hair. When she finally stepped back, she let me look in the mirror. Somehow, despite my disbelief, the boy was gone and the cute girl had reappeared. As a final touch, Mom clipped yellow lace bows into our hair and added matching yellow earrings to our ears. Standing side by side, Max and I looked every bit like sisters dressed for a Sunday outing. Mom went off to get ready, leaving me to wonder how a harmless joke on my brother had led to me becoming his big sister for the day. What had started as a prank had spiraled into a full-blown girls' day out. I felt utterly ridiculous in my dress and girls' underwear, but the real unease came from the thought of what lay ahead. Why did Mom want to take two boys to church, lunch, and shopping dressed as little girls? What would people think when they saw us? What if my friends found out? I couldn't refuse to go. Mom would probably just drag me to the car and make me go. Changing clothes wasn't an option either, since the dress I was wearing was buttoned up the back and I couldn't reach around to unbutton it. All I could do was hope for the best and put my trust in Mom. Max was driving me nuts. He kept dancing and twirling to make his dress flare out. I was already feeling self-conscious enough about wearing a dress and stockings. The last thing I wanted was to be reminded of the slip and panties underneath. Finally, Mom finished getting ready and called us downstairs to finish up. Max bounded down the steps, only to be told by Mom to go back up and act like a young lady. I was in no rush. Besides, I wasn't taking any chances with the heels on my shoes. Mom gave us one last inspection before handing each of us a white knit sweater and a white purse. Curious, I opened mine to see what was inside. Mom had thought of everything: a small brush and comb, some tissues, a little mirror, a change purse with money, and even a small bottle of cologne that some girls at school liked. Mom made sure I had everything a girl could need, whether I wanted it or not.